The edge of the world is not a myth. It is a terrifying statistical reality. We were raised on the comforting idea that our solar system is a vast, orderly neighborhood that gently fades away into the infinite dark, becoming thinner and more sparse until there is nothing left but the void. But as our telescopes grew more powerful and our understanding of gravity deepened, we realized that the end of our world is not a fade-out. It is a sharp, jagged cliff. At a distance of precisely 50 astronomical units from the Sun, the abundance of objects in our system does not just decline, it vanishes. It is as if an invisible wall has been erected, or as if someone, or something, has simply erased the outer half of our home. Astronomers call this the Kuiper Cliff, and it is the greatest unsolved mystery of our cosmic backyard. It is a smoking gun at a crime scene that is billions of years old, and the culprit might still be hiding in the shadows. To understand why the cliff is so disturbing, you first have to understand the nature of the neighborhood. Beyond the orbit of Neptune lies the Kuiper Belt, a massive frozen ring of debris left over from the birth of the planets. It is populated by millions of icy bodies, from tiny pebbles to dwarf planets like Pluto. According to every model of planetary formation we have, this belt should extend for hundreds, perhaps thousands of astronomical units, gradually thinning out into the Oort cloud. We expect to see a smooth gradient of matter, but instead, we see a crowd that suddenly hits a dead end. Beyond 50 astronomical units, the space is hauntingly empty. The probability of this happening by chance is almost zero. It is a defiance of physics that suggests our system was either born in a violent accident or was tampered with by a force of unimaginable scale. We first caught a glimpse of this emptiness through the eyes of our Pioneer and Voyager probes, but it was not until we began mapping the outer reaches with dedicated ground-based surveys that the scale of the anomaly became clear. Imagine sailing across an ocean teeming with life, only to reach a line where the water becomes crystal clear and sterile, as if the fish were afraid to cross it. That is the Kuiper Cliff. It forces us to ask a question that makes astronomers lose sleep. What could be powerful enough to clear out billions of miles of space and leave a perfectly sharp edge? The first suspect in this cosmic mystery is a ghost. For years, astronomers like Mike Brown and Konstantin Batygin have chased the mathematical signature of a giant hidden in the dark. They call it Planet 9. This is not a small, icy rock. It is a monster, perhaps 10 times the mass of the Earth, prowling on an eccentric, elongated orbit thousands of years long. We have never seen it, but we can feel its breath. The orbits of the most distant objects we have found are not random. They are clustered and tilted as if they are being herded by a massive gravitational shepherd. If Planet 9 exists, it could be the vacuum cleaner of the solar system. Over eons, its immense gravity would have acted like a cosmic scythe, clearing out any debris that dared to linger at the edge, either flinging it into the sun or kicking it out into the interstellar abyss. But the theory of Planet 9 brings its own set of terrifying possibilities. How did such a massive planet get so far out? Was it born near the Sun and exiled during a chaotic gravitational dance between Jupiter and Saturn? Or is it something even more exotic? Some theorists suggest that Planet 9 is not a planet at all, but a primordial black hole the size of a grapefruit, captured by our Sun in the early days of the universe. If this is true, our solar system is not a solitary fortress. It is a trap. We would be living on the doorstep of a dark remnant of the Big Bang, a tiny point of infinite density that has spent billions of years quietly eating the edge of our world. However, there is another theory that is perhaps even more chilling, because it suggests that we were once victims of a cosmic mugging. Our Sun was not born in isolation. It was born in a crowded nursery, a cluster of thousands of stars huddled close together. In those early, chaotic days, the stars were constantly jostling for position. Astronomers have calculated that about 4 billion years ago, another star may have passed dangerously close to our system. This was not a distant observation, it was a near collision. As this alien sun screamed past us, its gravity would have acted like a giant magnet, literally licking off the outer layers of our solar system. Think about the scale of that event. A wall of fire and gravity passing so close that it stripped away billions of objects, stealing our ice, our comets, and perhaps even planets we will never know existed. This stellar flyby would have left a permanent scar on our system, a sudden cutoff point where our gravity was no longer strong enough to hold on to its own. The Kuiper Cliff would be the literal edge of the theft. If this happened, then somewhere out there, orbiting a different star in a different part of the galaxy, are the lost pieces of our home. There could be worlds that were born in the same cloud of gas as the Earth, now trapped in the service of a foreign sun. This theft theory also explains objects like Sedna. Sedna is one of the most mysterious things we have ever found. It is a large reddish world on an orbit so elongated that it takes 11,000 years to complete a single trip around the Sun. It never comes close to the planets, and it never leaves our system. It is in a gravitational no man's land. According to our current understanding of the solar system, Sedna shouldn't be there. It is too far out to have been placed there by our planets, and too close to be part of the Oort cloud. Some astronomers believe Sedna is an alien world, a piece of another solar system that our sun managed to snatch away during that same close encounter. We are living in a house built from the wreckage of a prehistoric collision, surrounded by the debris of stars that have long since moved on. The existence of the Kuiper Cliff means that our solar system is an exposed fortress. We grew up believing we were protected by a vast buffer zone of ice and rock, a protective shell that absorbed the impacts of interstellar intruders. But the cliff shows us that our defenses have been compromised. We are much more open to the interstellar void than we realized. This is why objects like Oumuamua and the comet Borisov were able to penetrate so deep into our inner sanctum with so little warning. We are living on the edge of a truncated world, looking out into a darkness that used to be filled with our own matter. There is a final, even more unsettling possibility. What if the cliff is not the result of a natural accident? In the study of cosmic archaeology, we look for techno-signatures, signs of advanced intelligence. If a super civilization wanted to build something on a truly massive scale, like a partial Dyson swarm or a series of megastructures, they would need a nearly infinite supply of raw materials. The Kuiper Belt is a goldmine of volatiles and minerals. Could the sudden absence of matter beyond 50 astronomical units be the result of an ancient industrial project? Could the edge of our system have been mined clean by a force that existed long before the first humans walked the Earth? While this remains in the realm of speculation, the sheer precision and abruptness of the cliff continue to defy every natural explanation we have. As we continue to push our cameras and probes further into the dark, the mystery only grows. The New Horizons mission, the first spacecraft to visit the Kuiper Belt, has detected a strange glow of ultraviolet light coming from the edge of the system. It is a hydrogen wall, a place where the solar wind from our sun finally slams into the interstellar medium. But the spacecraft also found that there might be even more dust further out than we thought, suggesting that the cliff might not be the end, but the beginning of a new, even stranger region of space that we are only just beginning to see. Living on a planet with a truncated solar system is like living in a city where the maps simply stop at the city limits. We are surrounded by a wall we cannot explain, a cliff we cannot see, and a history that has been partially erased. Whether the Kuiper Cliff was caused by a hidden planet, a passing star, or a primordial black hole, it serves as a humbling reminder of our place in the cosmos. We are not the masters of our environment. We are the survivors of a violent and chaotic past, clinging to a sun that has been battered and bruised by the very universe that created it. The cliff is a boundary between the known and the unknowable. It is the place where our sun's authority ends and the lawless dark of the galaxy begins. For now, we stand on the edge of that cliff, peering into the abyss and wondering what else was taken from us and what might still be out there, watching us from the shadows of the 50 astronomical unit mark. The solar system does not fade away. It stops. And in that silence, we find the most profound questions of our existence. We are the children of a broken world, looking for the pieces of ourselves among the stars. The search for the cause of the Kuiper Cliff is more than just an academic exercise. It is a mission to understand our own vulnerability. If a passing star could strip our system of its outer layers, what else could happen in the deep time of the future? We are learning that the galaxy is a dynamic, often dangerous place where the orbits of stars are not fixed paths, but a chaotic web of near misses and gravitational tugs of war. Our current stability is a temporary reprieve, a quiet moment in a long and turbulent story. By studying the edge of our world, we are learning how to predict the next intruder, how to defend our fortress, and how to eventually leave it. Every new object we find beyond Neptune is a clue. Every strange orbital tilt is a fingerprint. We are close to finding the answer. Whether it is a dark planet hiding in the cold or the lingering echo of a stellar encounter, the truth of the Kuiper Cliff will change our understanding of our origins forever. We are at the dawn of a new era of exploration, where the edge of the world is no longer a destination, but a doorway. And as we step through that doorway, we must be prepared for the fact that the universe is much larger, much older, and much more crowded than we ever dared to imagine. The emptiness beyond the cliff is not just a lack of matter, it is a presence. It is the presence of a history that we have yet to fully decode. It is a reminder that for all our technology and all our pride, we are still just beginning to scratch the surface of our own home. The sun is our hearth, but the Kuiper Cliff is our horizon. And like every horizon in human history, it is meant to be crossed. We are the explorers of the edge, the archaeologists of the void, and we will not rest until we know why our world just stops. So as you look up at the night sky, look past the bright planets and the familiar constellations. Look toward the darkness on the edge of the system. Somewhere out there, at the 50 astronomical unit mark, the ice ends and the mystery begins. We are falling toward a future where we will finally see what lies beyond the wall. And in that discovery, we may finally find our true place in the immense heaven. We are the inhabitants of the cliff, and the view from the edge is spectacular. The mystery of the cliff also challenges our arrogance about planetary formation. We assumed our system was the standard model for the rest of the galaxy, but the more we look at other stars, the more we realize that every system is a unique survivor of a chaotic birth. Some have Jupiters that migrated inward, destroying everything in their path. Others have planets that were ejected into the dark to wander as orphans. Our cliff might be our unique signature, the mark of a specific event that allowed Earth to remain in a stable, life-bearing orbit. If that stellar thief had come just a little closer, if Planet 9 had been just a little more aggressive, the Earth might have been one of the objects stripped away, frozen forever in the interstellar night. We are the lucky ones who stayed behind, and the cliff is the fence that keeps the ghosts out. Ultimately, the Kuiper Cliff is a call to action. It reminds us that we need to keep looking, keep launching, and keep questioning. We cannot be content with the light of the inner planets. We must venture into the cold, where the records of our birth are kept in deep freeze. The truth is out there, waiting in the silence beyond 50 astronomical units. It is a truth that will tell us not just where we came from, but where we are going. And as we stand on this cosmic precipice, we realize that the most exciting part of the journey is not the path behind us, but the drop that lies ahead. The solar system has an edge, and we are finally brave enough to look over it. We must also consider the possibility that our current instruments are simply not sensitive enough to see what lies beyond. Perhaps the cliff is an illusion of our perspective, a veil created by the limitations of our light-detecting technology. But even if the space is not entirely empty, the dramatic drop in density remains a physical fact that requires an extraordinary explanation. The void is shouting at us, and we are finally learning how to listen. The edge of the world is calling, and the answer is buried in the shadows of the giants we have yet to name. As we move forward, the story of the Kuiper Cliff will become the story of our survival. It teaches us that the cosmos is a place of grand transitions and sudden ends. It prepares us for the reality that one day we will have to face the void ourselves. But for now, we remain the stewards of this truncated, beautiful system, the watchers on the wall at the end of the space. The mystery of the cliff is our legacy, and our search for the answer is the greatest adventure of our time. We are the explorers of the sudden stop, the people of the edge, and our journey into the dark has only just begun.